What's up, Ravens flock? This is the recap show for the atrocious, pitiful, and pathetic 37-20 loss in Kansas City. Daniel Wilcox, Matt Trigger. This is We Bleed Purple. Daniel, I really don't know what to say because that was awful. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, you could chalk it up to a number of things, Matt. But it's been the same thing you've been hearing from me. I've been a broken record for the last 2 3 years. Like I feel like it's coaching, man. It's like as a coach, I remember my first day. I wanted to set the tone for what I wanted for my guys, and the energy you bring to these gentlemen is the energy you're going to get out of those guys. And I feel like I don't know what we're doing game plan wise. Week in and week out. I'm a little bit confused of who we're supposed to be defensively. I'm confused of who we're trying to be offensively. I don't understand how you can have a Justice Hill and a Derrick Henry on your team and a Keaton Mitchell on your team, and you're not thinking about running the ball down people's throat all the freaking time. You know, when I look at game plans, Matt, yeah, you got the most dynamic quarterback in the entire history of football, and you're not using them to his capabilities the best way that you possibly can. And I think what I'm trying to get, the point that I'm trying to get across right now is the more you run the ball or the more you have the ball on offense, the less their offense has the time to have the ball. So when your defense is not playing well, as an offensive staff, you should do everything you can to not put your defense on the field. And we just don't seem to do that. And then every single week, week in and week out, Derrick Henry starts the game off hot. And I've said this multiple times. If Steph Curry is hot, give him the fucking ball. So if Derrick Henry comes off hot, he starts the game off hot, give him the ball. Every single week, he's hitting his head on the goalpost, the first drive, second drive, and then you don't see him again to the fourth quarter. And I look at him on the sideline sometimes, and I'm absolutely flabbergasted by the way he looks, because he's looking on the sideline like, man, why did I decide to come here? What are we doing? Like, why am I on the, I think he's wondering why he's on the sideline too, because I know I am. I
Yep.
know I am.
I It's almost like this is, like you said, it's a broken record where we talked about in the last couple of shows. They script their first 15, 20 plays,
Yeah.
and it's almost like after the scripted plays are done, they're lost. Like all logic goes out the window almost, and it's so frustrating to sit there and watch. Derrick Henry, his first run was 8-9 yards.
Yeah.
And you got Derrick Henry running the ball down their throat. Nobody wanted to tackle him. He got rid of the arm sleeves. He's out there holding the ball high and tight. He's dropping his shoulder, trying to run people over. He's catching the ball in the pass game, and then you stop. Inexplicably, you stop.
Every week.
And then
Broken record.
on top of all that, you had held them to a field goal after the Lamar interception. So to me, the defense held up early, and they were doing their job. And then it was just it was a shit storm of circumstance. The the injuries started piling up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on record and say this. Look,
Okay. I
you
can't wait.
you know what I'm about to say,
I can't wait
huh?
to hear this shit.
You
Go
know what
ahead.
I'm gonna say. And the thing
Yeah.
is, you and I see football through two different lenses.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wilcox.
I can't wait to hear this, Matt. Go ahead, tell the fans.
Marlon bitched out.
Okay.
Marlon bitched out.
Mm-hmm.
Rowe might have been hurt, but Rowe looked like he didn't want to be out there. He's had two bad games back to back. I don't know what's going on with Rowe. Stanley, if your ankle's hurt, dog, just don't try to go if you're gonna not play after the first drive. And it's like we're watching the same shit he did 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
If you're gonna rock with that, and your ankle's hurt in practice all week, let somebody else get all the first team reps at left tackle. If they got to slide Rosengarten over, if they are gonna rock with no boom, something, man, like
Yeah.
that is selfish. That, I mean, I understand trying to be a warrior and go out there, and then Lamar. What happened with Lamar? I know the offensive line is going to get him hurt, and it's starting to show. He's been sacked 13 times already this year, and he's been put under pressure over 60 times this year in 4 games. That's
That's
15
crazy.
pressures. That's 15 pressures a game,
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
that's 3 sacks a game. That's unacceptable. Linderbaum wasn't holding anybody up today. The left tackle was terrible. Rosengarten looks like he's out there by himself as the only competent offensive lineman we got. And
Yeah.
then, Nate Wiggins, like you called it when it happened. You said Nate Wiggins broke his arm. His arm looked fucked up.
Yeah.
I feel bad. That wasn't I'm tapping out.
Yeah.
But what's telling to me is that when in John Harbaugh's post game press conference, they asked him, would Lamar have came back in the game if the game was closer? And he said he didn't want to comment on that, which means to me that they just got him out of there before it got even worse.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I have a hard time saying Lamar quit, but it almost looked like it for a second.
Shit, what you would have done, Matt?
Yeah, we're getting our asses kicked. It's an ass whooping.
At this point, what do you got to prove? Like it's
not a damn thing.
Yeah, and you already done got your ass whooped and smacked out and got outplayed 2 weeks in a row. So I mean, at that point, like I think you save Lamar. You don't put him out there in the trenches with no block, nobody protecting him or whatever. And this was ridiculous, bro. Like week in and week out, I'm seeing the exact same thing over and over and over again. This dude is running for his life back there, and I think
running for his life.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I'm not going. All right, Larico. I'm not going to say he quit. But he definitely. I mean, it was a bunch of this going on. I felt like the whole game.
The whole game.
Yeah, and I mean, the Chiefs is a heck of a team.
They are,
but we're a hell of a team too.
They waited for the Ravens game to play their best game offensively.
Yeah, the best game they played all year.
All year, and the thing is, Wilcox, I'm gonna say this because
that's respect. That's respect, though, Matt. Just understand that's respect.
I get it. I get it.
They said the Ravens are coming this week. We got to be for real this week. We can't bullshit. They prepared. They game planned. It looked like we didn't, but it looked like they definitely did. I just don't understand what our game plan is. Go ahead.
I do want to say this about the team, though.
Yeah.
The defense without Roquan Smith is night and day difference when you got Simpson out there next to Buchanan because, oh my God.
Yeah.
When Roquan got out of there, they started toying with us. They were running pick plays. They were running crossing routes over the middle. Nobody knew where to go.
Yeah.
It's like the general was off the field. And I'm sitting like I was so pissed off watching this game. I'm like, I was at the ass whooping on Monday night, and then I sat there and watched this shit. I didn't even turn it off.
We spoil.
We are.
We spoil.
But the thing is, I blame you because you were a part of those really good Ravens football teams that had stellar defense and hard-nosed offense.
Yeah, we're
right
spoiled.
Now,
your number one guy said it best last week. Ravens fans are spoiled, and when he said that we are spoiled, he's right. As fans, you've gotten a chance from the existence of this franchise. You've had a Ray Lewis, you've had a Jonathan Ogden from the beginning, so you're used to great offensive line play and you're used to great defensive play. And then on top of that, you add Terrell Suggs and Ed Reeves and Haloti Nada, and Kelly Gregg and Chris McAllister and Samari Roll and so on and so on and so on. It's a bunch of great defensive guys. Your Peter Bowares. It's been a hell of a ride for this franchise. And here we are, watching our team fall apart right before our eyes, and nobody knows what's going on. Everybody's like, what the hell? So
I hope this was a wake-up call to them.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but this is what this team needed because they've hung around in every game.
I had 3 wake-up calls already.
I hear you,
yeah.
But none of the games have been blowouts. I mean, you can say Detroit was a blowout. The score didn't look like it.
Ass whooping.
That was an ass whooping with Detroit, but this right here was another one. What do these guys need to do to wake up? Because it seems like the same shit week after week.
It's coaching to me, Matt. Like
Do
it's
you
to me,
do
it's
you think
more
they're tuning
coaching
him
than it
out?
is. I think it's more coaching than it is playing. Like I'm looking at, I'm watching the game and I'm getting frustrated by play calls. I'm getting frustrated by defensive sets and what we're doing in the back, in the backfield on defense. I'm getting frustrated watching how we attack people and how we're not running to the ball and how we're not stripping the ball. And that's a great. I think that was Larico just said something about leadership. And I said the same thing earlier today. I said, where's the fucking leadership on this team? And I think that's where we're missing. And I said that earlier today too. I said, bro, I think we got a lack of leadership. And a part of that is from watching Marlon Humphreys on his podcast or whatever it was on Twitter with the thing on his head and him talking about the loss we just had last week. To me, it's like leadership ain't even allowing that type of shit to go down in the locker room. And the fact that he's supposed to be one of those guys kind of baffles me. And I think Marlon is already checked out to the point where he's just trying to get ready to do his podcast full time. He looked like ass last week. He looked like ass this week. And I just don't know what's going on. And, like I think 2 years ago, I was saying Marlon need to hang it up. Then he had a hell of a year last year. I don't know, maybe it was a contract year or something last year. And then this year, he's right back looking like the guy that I thought he looked like 2 years ago.
It if I might crash out if I see him do another podcast episode like tomorrow. I'm off work tomorrow. I might be losing my goddamn mind tomorrow if I see him
Mm-hmm.
pop up on my screen with no shirt and a towel on again. It's on site because I'm sick of this shit. It's not even October and I'm already over this shit. It's not even October, bro. I don't remember having to sit through this type of Ravens football in at least 10 years. The last time we were this bad was like 2017.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sitting here looking at some of the some of the quotes from some of our fans, man. Just listening to some of the quotes they'll put up on the screen, Matt. And it's good to be able to get the insight from fans, like real true fans. Like I'm still kind of converting, being a player my entire life. I didn't really know what it really felt like to be a fan, but now I'm watching every single game. I'm looking at the players, I'm learning their names, I'm studying. This podcast has really kind of changed things for me in that perspective. I couldn't even go to a game because it felt weird sitting in the stands. I'd never been in the stands before. I've always been on the field. I never went to an NFL game until I started playing anyone. So taking this transition to become a fan, I can understand why people get so upset and why people get so mad. Like the reason our podcast is called We Bleed Purple is because we live by die by this shit.
Yeah.
For real. Like we live by die by this shit. So when we lose, the fans lose, everybody in the city lose. We all are embarrassed. To me, like I think I told you this, Matt. If I would have lost the game in Baltimore and it was embarrassing like they did last week or this week, bro, I'm not going outside. You're not going to see me outside. The last thing I'm going to be doing is doing a podcast or so you can see my face. And if I am, I'm having a real legitimate conversation about some real shit. I'm just not bullshitting on a podcast. So it's like I wouldn't go to the mall. You wouldn't see me out at a restaurant. If I got a girl, we eating in. We ain't going out. Just order the food, have it bring to the house or something, or go get it. I have her go get pick out, take out or something. But last thing I'm gonna be doing is being out in the streets. And I'm damn sure not gonna be doing a podcast and not saying anything of any substance. It's just crazy to me. To my Matt, can you go play love tackle?
Yeah. Just give me $1 million. I'm cool. I'll go out there and get my ass whooped and let everybody run by me too. I can't do no worse.
I don't know how 77 is our starting right guard. I haven't figured that out yet.
He is trash. Capital T, capital R, capital A, capital S, capital H. Trash. It pissed me off when I saw him in the huddle. They just came back from a commercial break and they just showed Falele standing there next to Rosengarten. I was like, this piece of shit. Like I hate to talk bad about players because I'm criticizing people that are playing a game that 1% of high school players ever reach the echelon of playing, and not here I am, not even 1%, and I'm sitting here criticizing these people,
Yeah.
knowing I'm gonna be turning keys to the jail on Tuesday. Like, this is crazy to me.
But that's what being a fan is like, man. Like
It is
you feel all that shit. You feel everything that's going on. Yep, trash. what your boy say? Trash.
trash.
Everybody's trash. I I feel like I'm starting to feel like a Cowboys fan. You know,
Yeah,
like this year was supposed to be a Super Bowl run for us, for real. It was supposed to be a Super Bowl run for us, and now here we are talking about our team is trash and the players are trash, and it's crazy that we even going through this right now, and I hate that.
oh. Bro, I don't even know what to say right now. Oh
Oh
my
hell,
God,
okay, Brandon,
Brandon.
let's see what you wrote. I said it time and time again. Many ego-driven people on this team, no leadership, no brotherhood, like Wilcox had. Yeah, exactly, bro. I'm telling you right now. If like I just text Ed Reed like last night, and I was telling Reed, it was a post that came across my feed, and it was back when the Ravens went to the Super Bowl in 2012, and Reed was talking to somebody, and he was saying, "Man, I told the guys they need to start picking up their shit in the locker room, and we can't expect these are firemen, man. These guys are firemen during the day, and they off duty firemen. They picking up your damn nasty ass drawers and your tape all over the floor." And Reed was going off. He was venting. And he was venting in like a real like setting, like a real interview setting. And I text Reed, I said, bro, I sent him the post off Facebook. And then I text Reed and I was like, bro, I'm so glad, I got a chance to play with you. And I remember seeing this back in 2012 because I was sitting my ass at home on the couch. I had already retired by 2012 when they went to the Super Bowl. And I was like, bro, I'm so glad I got a chance to play with guys like you. And as you always stood on business and you always stood 10 toes down. And you was a real one. It's hard to let, like, when you go out here and get your ass whooped like that and you don't play well, you letting guys like him down. And Reed was 100% right. He kept saying it was the little things, right? And I tell my sons that every freaking day. It's the little things. It's the little things you do. Make your fucking bed up when you get up in the morning every single day. Brush your teeth, wash your face, get your homework done as soon as you come home. Take the trash out when it's trash day. Go around and just take care of your home. You see trash outside on the grass, pick that shit up. I don't care if you did throw it down. It's all yard. Let's present our house well. It's the little things. So what Reed was saying is start with those things. If you can't do the little things right and be disciplined with the little things in your life, you can't expect for the big things to fall in place. And that's where it looked like it's like we're falling apart right now. I don't know if we just not doing the little things that we're supposed to be doing in order to be great, like studying the fucking playbook or learning the plays or putting together a hell of a game plan if you're a head coach or you're a position coach or you're OC or DC. We come out here and it look like we don't have a great game plan week in and weekend out. And you're right, Mark. We've been saying it all night. There's no leadership on this team right now, and I don't know who the leaders are or who's telling them they need to get their shit together. It damn sure ain't Marlon Humphreys. Not the way he going about this podcast shit. And a prime example was that you remember last year when they was on the plane, Lamar told him to get the damn camera out of his face.
Yeah.
So it's like it's consistently over and over again. It's the same stuff, and we need to fix that shit.
It's I don't want to say that the season's doom and gloom, but let's play a hypothetical situation for a second, Daniel. We got the Texans coming up on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we got the Rams right after that. Yeah. And then it's our bye.
Right.
If this team is 1-5, would it shock you if they canned Harbaugh?
Yeah, 100%. It would definitely shock me. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, but it would definitely shock me. Your head coach. He's been your head coach for a hell of a long time. And he got you a Super Bowl, just like Billick did. Billick was a Super Bowl winning coach here. He won the first Super Bowl, and they fired him and they brought Harbaugh in. It's going to be interesting to kind of see exactly what they're going to do throughout this week. Now, remember last year, Matt, we was kind of in the same situation. I kept saying, like, hey, it's only 4 games in, guys. Relax. Relax. Pump your brakes. This feels different to me. And those 4 games in back last year, I was saying that this is preseason for us. None of these guys played preseason football this year. Those 3 games was for the young guys. Now we just started. Our regular season really starts next week. So if you look at it like, all right, we just got through our 4 preseason games. All right, the season starts next week. Let's see how things go. The reason why this feels so different, guys, every freaking body is hurt. I mean, everybody. Likely, Ricard, Nate Wiggins, Matabuke. You know, shit. Keep going. Stanley just went out today. Lamar went out today. You know, who else? Zero. Roquan Smith went out today. Marlon Humphreys went out today. It's so many injuries of your key guys, your starters, and I don't know where that leadership is going to come from. Like even when all this stuff started, all these guys started to drop. Hell, I go to a freaking wing tee if I had to win. I don't give a shit. I put fucking Keaton Mitchell, Derrick Henry, and freaking Justice Hill back there. I put Hill and Mitchell on the two wings, and I put freaking Derrick Henry in the backfield. And I promise you, I'll go wing tee and kill their ass every single week.
You know, here's the thing. A lot of people are calling for Harbaugh era to end. I'm pretty much to that point now myself. And I know, and I'm not trying to be doom and gloom about the season, because knowing this football team will win the next two, go into our bye week at 3-3, and then we'll go on a 9-1 run the rest of the year.
Who would you make the interim head coach if you fire Harbaugh?
Pagano.
What? How could it possibly be Pagano?
Would you give the reins to Orr right now?
No, I wouldn't.
Would you give it to Monken?
No, I wouldn't. But why would I give it to Pagano? He's not even that type of leadership. He's not even in a leadership role right now.
So why would he's the secondary coach? I mean, you're right. He's technically not, but he's the only one on the staff that's got previous head coaching experience.
Yeah, but I don't think you can give it to him. Like you can't go over your DC and your OC, and the fact that you would jump over your OC and DC to go straight to Pagano, that's the fucking problem right there. That's the fucking problem right there. You got guys in positions that ain't even ready to be in a head coaching position right now at your OCs and DCs. That's the problem right there.
I know it's certainly doesn't do us any favors with the teams we got coming up. I mean, the Texans are 1-3 as well, I believe, but
yeah,
the Rams look good today, and the Rams are starting to get click on all cylinders. Stafford and Devontae Adams got really good chemistry.
This shit's going downhill fast.
This
is like a grenade.
Yep,
drop that bitch.
Yeah,
it's going downhill fast as hell right now.
I feel like I'm playing Call of Duty, and the person that killed me keeps on spawning right where I'm at and popping me again. This shit's crazy. This shit is crazy, dog. I'm like my group chats were a couple of my group chats were going crazy tonight.
Yeah, mine too.
And
everybody's saying, "What's wrong with the Ravens?" Wilcox, what's going on? God dang! Then one of my boys, Jerry, he's an AD at one of the colleges. I ain't gonna throw him under the bus, but Jerry was going hard. He's a huge Ravens fan, and he was going in hard. Everything we talking about right now, everything the fans are saying right now, all the tweets, all the stuff we're getting, all the messages we're getting. I've already heard everything you guys have said tonight already. It's been coming across my phone all night. It's crazy.
It's like it's the only person. Like I was like watching the whole game.
What happens? Everybody want to fire Harbaugh.
There's two players. There's two players out there today that didn't look like they quit, and that was John Jenkins, number 94, the defensive tackle. He played his ass off today.
Yeah.
And Justice Hill. That touchdown run, he looked like he got shot out of a cannon.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Zay played his ass off tonight, too. I thought Mark Andrews played his ass off tonight, too. Yeah. Fire his ass. All right, Polo. Polo, I got you, bro.
Hey, Polo works where I work, man, and you should see his basement, man. He's got a Ravens couch, all of his memorabilia. He's got big Ravens chains that he wears.
Yeah.
He's a super fan. He like
yeah.
His whole week is predicated on Sunday.
Well, I appreciate him tuning in, man. I tell you what, like the fire Harbaugh thing is definitely something people got to think about. But I need you guys to also understand that firing, Harbaugh is kind of like divorcing your wife. Like it's not an easy thing to do for an owner or for a franchise to do. It's one of those things where you can't just walk out on your wife when things get hard and things don't go the way you want to, and you know you lose a couple of times and she don't give up the draws. You can't just get rid of her all just like that. It's your wife. It's not your girlfriend. Harbaugh is like your wife. You can't just get rid of her like that.
Man, these comments are coming in crazy fast.
They
Can't
are.
even keep up with this shit, man.
Yeah, we definitely got to fight. We got to figure out a way to get those comments answered and stuff with every single one. Look, hashtag fire hard. We got to figure out a way to get those comments in so that we can be able to start talking to everybody and get those questions answered.
They're coming in on the screen right now. I just pulled them up.
I don't see anything on mine.
You just took it off.
I don't see anything. It was just.
I'm gonna hit show on the stream, and you're about to see it on the left hand side.
Yeah, I don't see it. It says new comments will display here.
Okay.
I still see Larico's comment. Hashtag fire hard at the bottom.
Oh yeah. I didn't take that off yet, but man, this right here, I'm telling you, it's one of those situations where if we would have just won today, I don't think the world would be ending, so to speak.
Yeah.
But like their stadium was empty by the start of the fourth quarter.
It should have been. It was embarrassing.
It was an embarrassing, disrespectful kind of night.
Yeah.
And they got their asses whooped on national television for the 4:30 game.
Yeah, it wasn't us. It didn't look like us. Yeah, he's about that pre-nuptial gonna slap. We'll pay the alimony. That's what I mean. The coach's salaries are guaranteed. So if you do fire them, we still get paid. You know, so it's just like paying alimony. You know, but it's hard, man. It's just hard. It's so many different elements with your wife. It's so many different elements. If my wife coach this household, what?
Fire her ass too.
Yeah.
I think he signed an extension after the 23 season.
Yeah, he did. It was a couple years ago. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you on that too, Sean. I don't even think our gas tank is on E, bro. Like I really do. I just feel like most of this is coaching. We need to figure out a way to get a spark. When you got somebody as electric as Lamar, I think Lamar has saved a bunch of people's jobs here for the last 8 years. And because he saved so many people's jobs, you got a bunch of people lingering around that probably shouldn't be on the staff right now. I just don't understand. Like, I don't see what our game plan is week in and week out. Like I can remember game plans saying that, like on offense, oh, they got these big ass D linemen, they're huge. You know, we're gonna run them to the left and then we're gonna run them to the right. And basically, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna wear their ass out. By the fourth quarter, their asses are ours. You know, their asses is ours. You know, meaning they're gonna be so tired from running them sideline to sideline the entire game. By the time the fourth quarter hit, Jamal Lewis is gonna run all over this team. We're gonna put 200-300 yards rushing up on them because they're gonna be gassed. And I just don't see us doing anything like that. And we always eliminated the best guy on the team. Every week, the best guy on every team we played gets the fuck off on us. Like every week. I don't see the best guy on the team ever get eliminated on offense or defense. Mm-hmm. And we always did that as Ravens, you know. So when I watch our game plans, I'm like, bro, like how is every week that key player getting off on us? Every week.
This week it was Xavier Worthy.
Yeah. And then
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, last week it was Amon-Ra Brown.
Yeah, and Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery.
He looking at our camera talking about this shit. I run this shit. Like what? Detroit, y'all ain't ever ran shit. Like y'all can come to Baltimore too much. Y'all run this shit. That blew my mind, bro. So seeing that, I was like, man, I don't know what the hell we doing, but this shit ain't right. Like I knew then we was in trouble, but I wasn't expecting us to come back this week and get our ass slapped again.
Bro, like where's the pride? Like I'm looking at the game. I'm watching the game, Wilcox, and the body language of every player on that field.
Yeah.
The quarterback's body language, the defense's body language. They said at one point during the broadcast, Tony Romo counted 6 rookies on the Ravens defense on the field at one time.
Yeah, that was actually kind of dope for those young guys. But that's just bad. That's bad.
But they were getting their asses whooped like this.
No more than what the starters was doing.
Yeah.
Because it started off early this game for Marlon Humphreys. Shit.
I might get on here by myself and crash out if he's on a podcast tomorrow.
He
I'm
gonna be on the podcast, bro. He getting ready for retirement. Remarry your second wife, Brian Billick. I rock with Billick. I ain't had no problem
You
with Billick.
played for Billick for 5 years though,
Yeah,
man. 4 years, man.
I was a little bothered when they got rid of him. I thought he should have stayed in, but it is what it is. A lot of guys didn't like Billick. Dang, based on your spirit, the body language today, and the play of the entire team, did the players quit on Harbaugh today? If you're not able to answer, I understand. Shit, I ain't got no reason to hide nothing. I don't play no more. No, I mean I didn't get a chance to watch the game as hard as I could have today because I got so frustrated that I kept going in and out of watching the game. So I couldn't really speak on their body language. I know from the last couple of weeks of just watching, what I sense is frustration. I seen Lamar last week looking like he was mad as hell at certain play calls, and they would call something. He like, man, what we doing? I would see stuff like that. I look at Derrick Henry on the sideline. He on the sideline, like, bro, why am I on the fucking sideline? To me, that's the stuff that I'm reading. That's the body language I see. So when I see those type of things, I'm thinking the exact same thing those guys are thinking. Like, what the fuck are we doing as a coaching staff? But I've been saying the coaching thing for the last 2-3 years anyway. Every time we go against a really good opponent, we get out coached. We don't get outplayed. Our guys are playing their asses off, but he's just not putting us in the best situations possible to be our best. And a prime example is me. I bounced around the league 3 or 4 years before I got to Baltimore, and nobody knew what to do with me the first 3 or 4 years. And as soon as I get to Baltimore, Billick said, "Man, you're an H-back." And all of a sudden, I started starting for 5 years for the Ravens. So and they put me in positions to win. They didn't try to put me in a situation where I was going to lose. I was a good blocker. I wasn't the best blocker in the world. My routes was phenomenal. And I could catch the ball really well, but they put me in positions to win. That's why y'all know who I am and why I got a chance to be, kind of well known around the city of Baltimore, because they gave me opportunities to do what I do best. And I just don't see us doing that. Dallas Thomas is a prime example of that. Bart Scott is a prime example of that. Ed Hartwell, a prime example of that. Ovi Mahaley is a prime example of that. All those guys went to other teams and got paid out the ass because they put them in positions to kind of really show how great they were. Even Tony Payshos, our offensive tackle, he went down to Jacksonville, got a lump sum contract as well down there, and played for a long time. Because we put guys in positions, to show how great they were.
Yeah, it's just I want to ask you this question because I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, this is a question I'm gonna save for the show.
Yeah.
It seems like the only game that these boys played inspired this year, where they looked like they were prepared and they were locked in, is the first home game of the year where they brought all the legends back. Do you think it's a problem that the only time these guys look like they're ready is when they're playing in front of people they don't want to disappoint, so to speak?
No, man, I don't think. I mean, they turned around the next week in M&T Bank and act like they were in somebody else's stadium. We got our asses whipped right there at M&T Bank. I've never seen that happen like that before. So I mean, that was new to me. Like, not go out like that, So I mean, it's interesting to kind of watch how they move forward. Yeah, we don't have identity.
It's a fair question because it's like if one of the legends, like when like you can't rely on the legends of your franchise that are coming back for an appearance.
Yeah.
To get you hyped up and ready to play. I mean, this is a historic franchise in 30 years already. We got 2 Super Bowl wins. We have arguably 4 or 5 players that are the best to ever play at their position that were drafted by this franchise.
Yeah.
And there should be pride in that. And it's like,
so who are you claiming? You talking about Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Jonathan Ogden,
J.O.
Suggs. Who else?
Tucker.
Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
Did he get drafted? He didn't get drafted.
He was undrafted free agent. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I mean, this is the only place he ever played.
I take that though. I rock with Tuck.
Yeah. It's a shame how it all crashed and burned. But I mean, even to a certain degree, you could say Yonda's one of the best right guards to ever play football.
Marshall. Yeah, I agree.
Haloti Ngata might be one of the best interior defensive linemen to ever play the game.
100%, I agree.
And a lot of people won't think that because he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, but
Yeah,
the dude wreaked havoc for a decade.
he did. Haloti is a grown ass man.
Yeah, I still laugh when I see that podcast clip with Anquan Bolden when he was talking about Haloti being a grown man,
Yeah, me
you
too. I
know,
saw it too. He's like, I didn't know who the hell Haloti was.
and now he's, you know,
I'm glad he on my team.
glad right, you know, it's really tough to think about anything else after the 1-3 start. You can't
Yeah.
help but feel like there's something broken. It's not like we lost by a field goal today or like the last year's game where we were a half a toe length from beating them in a end zone catch with Isaiah Likely. But the injuries are definitely not helping the situation. But even at full strength, what are we? You know, we're are we a fraudulent team right now, or is it still too early?
No, we're not a fraudulent team. We legit. We actually are a legit team. The problem is that we have right now is lack of preparation. There's nothing more. Like when I say lack of preparation, like we're getting out coached. Like we literally are getting out coached week in and week out. Like we have so much talent that you could figure out a way to put these guys in the best situation possible so that they could be their best. It may take some creativity, but you could be creative and come up with some great ideas. You see Andy Reid do it every year. You
Yeah,
know, like they probably the only team that went 1-3 and still went to a Super Bowl and won. Probably I don't know how many teams have done that. But they've been in this situation before, and they still went and won a Super Bowl. But it's one of those things. Like I said, like the early in the season, bro, it's like getting through preseason. You knocking out all your kinks, all your wrinkles. You kind of getting a vibe for who you are. You kind of seeing your team against real talent for the first time. So these first four or five games are like preseason, and you're supposed to really take them to kind of really evaluate who you have. The thing is with us, we've had two ass whippings, and we've had one game that we should have won and we gave away. Right now at the worst we should be 2-2. But
yeah,
right now we're freaking 1-3, and it makes your stomach turn. And we have to figure out things. We have to figure out where we start. We got to go back to the drawing board, and you got to sit down and evaluate the talent that you have. You have the best quarterback in the league. You got the best running back in the league. That's a great place to start. One of the best tight ends in the league. You got your receiving core is probably elite. Top 3, top 4 receiving cores in the league right now.
there
Which is kind of hard to say. With Bateman, Zay Flowers, D Hop. And then you still got 16 Wallace. I like that kid a lot. And then
and
Tez
Walker.
Walker has been
Yeah,
playing his ass off this year. So you got five solid guys at receiver, 5 or 6 solid guys at receiver, and there's no excuse for you not to go out here and figure this shit out. Like I said, like you have to figure out what's your strengths, what's your weaknesses. Every time I see them give Derrick Henry a tall sweep, I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like he's not the tall sweep guy on this team.
right.
You got Keaton Mitchell, you got freaking Justice Hill. Why the hell are you giving Derrick Henry tall sweeps? Tall sweeps. He should be inside the tackles, inside zone, outside zone at best. One foot in the ground, cut and move. That's it. All downhill. He should be running right up. Nobody wants to tackle that freaking freight train. So run his ass right up the middle, 2-hole, 3-hole, 4-hole, 5-hole, 6-hole, 7-hole. That's it. Nothing else. I don't know what we're doing, and he should get the ball at least 20 times a game. That's what I see.
Yeah, I don't really understand it, but I do want to ask you because you brought up Andy Reid. How many Super Bowl trophies does Lamar Jackson have if Andy Reid's our coach?
3, 2 last year and 1 this year. Probably actually 4, because the one when Wetchicala was on the team, we should have won one too with Big Trust.
Oh, with
Mark
Mark
Ingram.
Ingram, yeah,
Yeah, that should have been
2019.
we should have won that shit. That should have been a Super Bowl win there. We should have had probably 2 of these last 2 years, and we should have had another one this year. This
Yeah,
team is absolutely loaded. But I know, see, a lot of times we get caught up into thinking it's the coach's fault, like who you have on the team, and the coaches don't get a chance to pick their team. This ain't like park ball where you go out there and say, all right, I'm team captain. No, let's shoot for it. And we shoot for it. I get to pick first. You get to pick first. And then we get out here and go play with our teams. It ain't like that. The coaches, they have to coach whatever they get. They don't always bring the best player in from your front office. They don't always bring the best player in to fit your scheme. So what a really good coach do is what Andy Reid do. He evaluates the talent that he has. He sits back and look at the talent that he has, and he said, "This is what we're going to be good at, and this kid could do this for us. This kid could do that for us. Let's put him in a position where he could do that shit really well." And that's what he does. And I look at us week in and week out. Every week, Derrick Henry starts the game off hot, and then we take him out of the game. And then he gets in the fourth quarter, he cold as shit. We give him the ball, he gets hit, they knock the ball out of his hand, and we all mad at Derrick Henry, like it's his fault. No, when he was hot and he was warmed up, you stopped giving him the freaking ball. Then you put him back in after he sat down the sideline, don't took his wristbands and shit off, and don't pull his arm sleeves down. Like, bro, what shit? I'm about to go and unhook my shoulder pad so I can go on inside. I've been on this bitch so long. I don't understand what we're doing. Like, if the man is hot, give him the freaking ball. Matt, you text me and said the man is 4 carries, 40-some yards. He averaging 8 yards a carry. All it takes is 10 to get a first down. Give him the ball, give the man the ball twice and see if he gets you a first down
keep
every
moving
time.
the chains.
Yeah. Just give him twice every goddamn 4 downs and see what happens.
I saw a lot.
Keep him inside the tackles.
I saw a lot of this on social media immediately after the game. A lot of fans go either way when they put the blame on somebody. This is probably one of the worst games that Lamar's played in recent memory. Do you put any of today on Lamar at all with the decision making?
I don't. I mean, he threw a pick today, giving Mark Andrews a chance to make a play.
Yeah.
If I'm Lamar, I'm telling him, look, bro, if you don't catch that bitch, nobody catch it.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't give a damn. You got to tackle the guy. But don't let him pick my shit off. I'm giving you a shot. If you can't get it, Mark Andrews fell down on the play. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know if the guy pulled him down or he kind of moved out the way. He thought he was going to lean on the guy or something. I don't know what it was, but he fell down on the play and the guy was in better position. He jumped over and took it. If I fall on that play, I'm tackling that dude. I'm putting him down with me. He ain't going to be able to pick off Lamar. So that's what good quarterbacks do. They give you a chance to make a play. You know, he gave him a 50-50 ball and the other guy came up with him.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I was like, this. I mean, he didn't look his best today. I think he was frustrated with a lot. Do you think he changes his style of play when he doesn't trust his offensive line?
Bro, he was running for his life tonight. Hell yeah, he changed his style of play. It's only so much you can take when somebody falling on the back of your legs and your ankles and all that shit. But that shit is not pleasant. You know, it's one thing when you can protect yourself and you see somebody coming at you and you can move out the way and kind of slip that tackle. It's a whole nother thing when you're trying to run away from somebody and they dive on the back of your heels. That shit hurts. They face mask usually hit the back of your heel or your Achilles or your calf. That shit hurts, bro. I'm telling you right now, it hurts. So nobody likes it. Then when you get your legs tangled up and they fall on top of you, all that weight comes down on top of your feet. Bro, it's not cool.
Got a question for you right here. Do you think anyone with an athletic bone in their body makes that catch?
I'm assuming you're talking about the one with Mark Andrews. Is that the catch you're talking about? Yeah, I think so. You know, this is what I'm going to say right here. The way Mark was running, he was running kind of leaning back. And it almost, when you run and you kind of lean back to kind of look for a ball, he's trying to slow down. But what happens is you feel like you try to get the body of the guy behind you to kind of give you some bracing. And it looked like the guy kind of moved out the way, kind of like a basketball move when somebody's trying to post you up and they move and you fall, all your weight fall down. That's kind of like what happened to Mark in that play. Like Mark should have just put his foot in the ground, gathered himself, and then jumped as high as he could to try to high point it. But he was running and he tried to lean on the DB. The DB slipped him and Mark ended up falling and the DB jumped over and took it. I don't think Lamar is 100% healthy either. Yeah, I agree. No, that's one of the best things you've said because I've been saying that all night. I just didn't want to say it, online. But the way he's running this year, it doesn't look like he's at 100%. I agree. And he's not pulling away from guys as fast as quick as he used to. A lot of that too can come from training. I don't know what he did this offseason, but the first game against Buffalo, I said it's about to be a long year for everybody. He looked fast as shit, quick as shit, twitchy, but these lower extremity injuries will slow you down. Core injuries will slow you down. Rib injuries will slow you. Anything pretty much ribs and down will stop you from running at full speed. Yeah, the O-line is suspect. I 100% agree.
They did nothing.
Everything is they both all fronts is very suspect this year. And I don't know where we go from there because right now you already kind of stuck. And then like Matt was saying last week, We had a chance to go get guys, and we let other people pick them up instead of us getting them guys we was familiar with. We knew that they could actually help us, and we didn't pick them up. We didn't go get them. We let other teams get them, and now it's too late. So we got to put some real emphasis on making some trades or something right now before the trade deadline and try to make some shake.
Yeah, I mean, we know Eric's not afraid to trade draft picks, but it's going to take more than just one move to fix what we got going on, and that's a lot to do in the middle of the season.
All right, so let's break down our O line right quick. Then we got a left tackle. He's pretty solid when he plays. If he plays, and then we got a center who's probably one of the best centers in the league, and he's a young guy. And then you got a right tackle who's a young guy as well. He's going to probably play for a long time. He's going to start getting some Pro Bowl bids before you know it. So you got two ends and you got a middle. The two guards are the problem that we're suspect with right now. So what do you do to try to fix that? All you really need to do is fix one, and then go from there. And the other one, like Falele is a big body. He cannot pass block. Pass block is not his specialty. So if you know that's not his specialty, then why the hell you keep trying to pass with him in a game as much as you do? You just have to figure out ways to use these guys to the best of their ability. And for the life of me, I can't understand why you keep running Derrick Henry to the right when your right side of your line is suspect. So it's like, why not run him behind Stanley? Why not run him to the left? Why not run him behind, Rosengarten and Linderbaum? I don't know. Like, how do you fix it? Like, usually I wasn't the best blocker in the world. I was undersized. I was quick and twitchy. That was my gift. But I would line up next to J.O. and next to Zeus, and they fixed all my problems because I knew if I had them helping me, I'm good. I always hit them on the hip like, come on, I'm ready to go.
I agree with you about the offensive line fix.
We need guards.
If you can go get a guard. See, the thing is, I think the fix that we have is down in Tennessee for both lines. I think if you went to Tennessee and you offered them a first and a third and maybe a 5 next year, you could probably get Zeitler back up in Baltimore, and you can probably get Jeffrey Simmons here.
Yeah.
Now you would have to figure out a way to make that work with the cap. I mean, but I think DeCosta would probably just go to Lamar and extend them to open up 17 or 18 million in cap space for this year.
Yeah.
I think that could be a one-stop shop right there. And then, like you said, Falele is a big body. Now you could have him either compete at left, for the left guard spot, or rock with Voorhees, and Falele is your interior line backup guy. And it's insane because 77 was a tackle in college.
Yeah. So maybe that's part of your issue. Maybe you need to move him outside.
I mean, he's not fast enough though.
I don't know.
Like, how would you feel blocking next to 77?
I would feel good because he's a big, wide body. All I need to do is if I could just get the guy back on him, and that's most of the time what I would do. I would take one side of the DN or the outside backer and just force him to go inside of me. Once he went inside of me, I had big 77 there to grab him. I just once I got him to go inside, then I can leak out. Hopefully I can get a little trash pass or something like that. But it's one of those things, man, where you can't have two bad people next to each other. You got to surround them by good players, and they're surrounded by good players. That's the good thing. You got Stanley on one end, you got Rosengarten on the other end, Linderbaum in the middle, and then you got two guys right here that's surrounded by these guys that are really good. So normally you could hide them, But also as a coach, man, you got to put them in situations to be successful. If you got to figure out what your guys are good at. Like they may be good at zone blocking schemes where they just go one direction and whoever comes to them, they take that guy in their zone. They may be good at double teaming up to the backer, tray blocking, like a tray, like if you're running power, like a power play or something, the old school power run that everybody runs in through the whole league, when you used to have fullbacks all the time, so you just got to figure out, what they're good at. Some guys are good at pass blocking and not good at run blocking. Some guys are good at run blocking and not good at pass blocking. And some guys are great at both, so you just got to figure out their strengths, and then you got to put them in situations to win. And I just don't feel like we keep doing that. Like I keep watching Falele on pass plays that get extended. And I'm like, bro, why is he out there? Like, why is he out there? Then you see Justice Hill run. That was to Falele's side.
it just feels like I'm watching a lot lately, especially the last couple of games.
Yeah.
We've had 3 games in a row now where there's been excellent pass rush uh, coming at us, and it looks like Lamar's not even setting his feet to throw half the time anymore.
They blitzing the shit out of us. And I don't blame
And,
them. I would do the same shit.
and
You ain't got no
because
line, ain't nobody picking up nothing. I will
nobody,
blitz your ass. You got the best quarterback in the league. I'm gonna make it very uncomfortable for him. That's what makes me mad about the Josh Allen game. We didn't blitz him at all. Fuck, we just let him sit back there and pick us apart. Guess what Patrick Mahomes did tonight? We ain't blitzed. We barely blitzed him too. He sat back there all night, picked our ass apart.
yep.
We got to do better.
And tonight and this afternoon, Mahomes didn't do anything special in terms of a miraculous no look pass or one of them shovel plays or one of those flip passes that he's done. He sat back there systematically, picked us off
Man, he ain't even have to.
one by one. He
They
had no
beat our
rush.
ass without. He ain't have to do nothing. All he had to do is sit back there, bitch, and play catch. Hey, buddy, you want to catch this ball?
Right.
That's it.
Justin, I think that they will. It might be a practice squad kind of thing because they have 2 spots open on the practice squad because they signed Mitchell Padden and Brent Urban to the 53. So there's a couple practice squad spots that are open. So I believe that they will possibly do this. I um I just don't know if he's been on the street for a month now, so he hasn't been in camps with anybody since August. So how much better is he really than what we got going on?
I'm over this team, but don't get over them yet, bro. I mean, if you bleed purple, we squad up. We gonna ride with them. We gonna die with them. You know, it is what it is. You know, hopefully it'll get better, and hopefully it'll get better quick. Hopefully it'll get better soon. But if don't, we got to figure it out.
I want to Rico. I'm gonna you met Rico at my fantasy football draft, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does go back to coaching.
It does go back to coaching, but look at our starting defensive line today, though, Wilcox.
Yeah.
It was, even though I love him, it was Brent Urban, it was John Jenkins,
Yeah.
and it was Aeneas Peebles.
Yeah.
A rookie getting his first start, a nose tackle that probably shouldn't have been on the field for 45 snaps, if he even was. He was out there a lot. 94 was all over the field today.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had 2 guys that made their NFL debut with CJ Okoye and Josh Tupou, and that's really the depth of the defensive line. Broderick Washington's on the IR. Nande Matabike is on the IR. You know, it all starts up front, and then Kyle Van Noy missed another week, even though he was back in practice.
So it looked like he was getting recruited by Andy Reid at the end of the game.
Yeah, you sent me that text message. He spent an awful lot of time talking to Andy Reid. I didn't like that shit.
Okay.
I didn't like that shit at all.
Yes.
I didn't like.
It always goes back to coaching. That's what I've been saying for 3 years, Rico.
And you signed a backup coach to the practice.
Asking for a friend. Yeah. Hey, if you could, boy, we definitely need to sign some backup coaches to the practice squad like right now. The good thing, I don't know if there's anything out there that's more available than what we already have.
It pisses me off to no end seeing how great the Seattle Seahawks defense is this year. And our boy Mike is over there
bowling
with his long sleeve turtleneck shirt tucked into his khaki pants. Looking like a square old white boy.
Yeah,
leading them boys to be monsters.
It was a couple of guys last week saying we should have never let Mike McDonald go. We should have hired him as the head coach and fired Harbaugh.
I mean, as much as I'm pissed off about the Harbaugh thing, and I want a new coach on the sideline, it almost seems like he's going to be this coach until either it goes complete catastrophe in the wrong direction, or he's just like, I'm done coaching. He might be like one of them, Tom Landry types where he can stay here for 2 decades, and then when he's ready to ride off into the sunset,
he'll never quit.
He won't.
No, his dad coached for a long time. So in that family it's a lineage of coaching.
I can't take this shit much longer.
I can't take this shit.
I can't take this shit, dog. I can't take this anymore.
Your relationship is weak, Matt. You need to fix your relationship.
Look, this is Stockholm syndrome. I sympathize with my abuser. This is crazy.
Dog, we have been a good like you.
I'm spoiled.
It's so like we just had two really, really, really great seasons back to back, right?
Yeah,
So we're having two great seasons back to back, and you start the season off not as good, and then you're ready to fire your head coach. You gotta let that shit sink in. You know, like he's not allowed to make no mistakes at all. He's not allowed to do great. Like he's not allowed to have a bad season.
I
You
blame
know
Joe Flacco.
what the hell Flacco got to do with this?
I'm going to take you back. Story time. I'm going to take you back because of Joe Flacco in 2018. If Joe Flacco doesn't get hurt, if he doesn't get hurt, John
Lamar
gets
Jackson.
fired.
You're right. He was on his way
John
out.
gets fired along with everybody else.
Yeah.
John gets fired. DaCosta gets to bring in his guy.
Yep.
So I blame Joe for having a back injury. That wasn't his fault because we got this. We got to see a miraculous man play football for us in his rookie year. So I hear that, but you would have probably been working under a new head coach.
Correct.
But you got to work with good old John.
Yeah.
You know, and I know you're forever grateful for that. This is our team, and it's all shock and awe right now. We just got our asses whooped for the second straight week. We are not coping well with this. I'm not going to give up on these guys. I'm going to sit in a hate watch every single game until we get better.
Yeah, this season starts to feel like the season that we had a couple of years back where everybody was hurt. That's what it's starting to feel like to me.
2020.
We had a horrible year that year.
Yeah, 2021. Yeah, like those like COVID. It feels like those COVID years all over again.
All over again.
Exactly what it feels like. It sucks. I don't like this. You know what? I don't want to take a shot at you because you're my guy, and we do this show together. But this kind of feels like 2007.
Yeah, that year sucked too. Oh my God, that's the year I got hurt. That's the year Chris McAllister got hurt. The year Kelly Gregg got hurt. Steve McNair got hurt. Everybody got hurt. The whole team got hurt.
And Kyle Bowler had to play quarterback for us. Good God Almighty!
Yeah.
You're a saint for catching passes from him because I thought Kyle Bowler was playing 4th and 2. You throw it away. You fucking asshole. Yo. I said, what
was that shit? What was that for real?
I was so fucking mad.
Cooper Rush. If you ever see this damn podcast, bro, don't ever do that shit again in your life. 4th and 2, you gotta try to make a play. Tuck that bitch and run before you throw it out of bounds. But you got to do everything you can. You got to treat 4th and 2 like it's the end of the game, and this is their last play. I don't give a fuck if you throw a pick, but you got to do something to try to make a play. You cannot throw the ball out of bounds on 4th and 2 when you're going for it. They believe enough in you to go for it on 4th and 2. Damn it, make a way. That's funny. Flacco threw his back out trying to make another kid. The last team that went 1-3 went to the Super Bowl. Tom Brady led the Patriots. We can do the same thing. Ha! They had Tom Brady. They had Tom Brady and they had Belichick. Kyle Bowler was ass. He killed a lot of receivers' careers.
It ain't just me. It ain't just me.
Oh, I'm glad you brought up Todd Heap just then. You know, I need to give a shout out to my boy Heap. So we had Heap on the podcast last year, me and Matt, and we had Todd Heap got a new cleat line that was coming out, and he actually sent me a box of his cleats. You know, I wanted to tell Todd thank you. So if you guys need phenomenal cleats, hold on, let me make sure I get this in the picture.
Take them out.
There it is. If you guys need phenomenal cleats, this is
out.
Todd Heap's cleat brand. It's called Cadix. All right, so he sent me a pair of cleats for my son. This is the inside of the box. It says changes here. Now your scariest opponent on the field won't be your cleats. You know, I thought that was kind of cool. Packaging is really dope. The color is kind of suspect. It's kind of like Tiffany's blue almost, like, you know, some real bougie shit. I see what you're doing. But this is the pair of cleats right here. Trying to get it in the frame. Everything is in reverse. The cool thing about the cleats actually move. So these cleats, the spikes on the bottom actually move. So when you run and cut, the cleats actually move when you cut. They don't they don't just sit still in the shoe and that's real hard. They actually give. So it's kind of cool how they kind of bend and move and they flex with every movement of your feet. So your cleats actually kind of got a vibe like this as you kind of move and make cuts and stuff like that. So it's kind of dope. It's a pretty dope ass cleat actually, you know.
That's cool.
So
It's cool he sent it to you.
yeah, it was cool that he sent it to me. He actually sent it to me. So it's for my son. You know, his feet are a little bigger than mine. He wears size 14.
That's
So
insane.
yeah, it's for my oldest
Size
son.
14.
Yeah, so this is for him. I'm gonna take him up there to him. He's playing baseball up in South Carolina right now. So this will be the pair of cleats that he'll play on when he plays on turf. Okay, but I appreciate Todd Heap. Todd Heap, thank you for sending me your cleats. If you get a chance to check them out, go to cadix.com and see if you can check out these cleats. If you could purchase them, definitely purchase a pair and support him. I hope he's doing great. He's going to continue to do great things. He's a phenomenal guy. So I appreciate you, Heap, for sending me these cleats for Tristan. And I know he's going to love them when he get them. So appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, that's wild that somebody mentioned Todd. And,
Yeah.
and you just, the free pub. I like it. I like
Absolutely.
it. Yeah, he's got to come back on and let us know how he's doing with that.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. He'll come. Hopefully, we'll start getting a bunch of these guys on this week. It was good to have Gary on last week. Thought we was gonna have
Man, that
Gary back
shit was
on.
hilarious.
I think Gary and KC partying right now. It was a
Yeah.
bigger win than he thought it probably was going to be.
Yeah.
So, it
He's
was
probably
looking
going to hit you up at some point, man. He was. What was his score prediction? I know you got your notes around here somewhere.
Yeah, Gary's score prediction was Kansas City winning 32-24 against the Ravens.
That was close.
And he said Patrick Holmes was going to be offensive player of the game.
And
then
he should be 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, what is it, George? What's George's name?
Karlaftis.
Karlaftis. Yeah, Karlaftis. He said that was going to be his defense of the game.
I think he had 2 sacks today.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did. Yeah. Yeah, me and you sucked though, man. We didn't do very good.
We did.
Yeah, my prediction was the Ravens were going to win 36-33. And then your prediction was Ravens going to win 31-28. Yeah. We both fucked up. We fucked
that up.
We fucked
that wasn't even close.
Yeah, I gotta start doing this off coaching instead of playing, because I know the players are more than capable to drop 30 on the Kansas City Chiefs, but the coaching, shit, I don't know what to say about the coaching sometimes, man. It's disappointing to watch our defense play the way they play. And with Chuck Pagano being there too, because I don't know what Chuck's role is or what Chuck is really doing right now, but maybe being a defensive back coach doesn't allow him to be like what Dean Pease was last year. What the guy, I think he was an advisor. And why they would get rid of him, I don't know. If he's not there this year, I don't know why they would let him go. Because towards the end of the season last year, the defense really turned around and started playing their ass off. So maybe Chuck is in line to be the next DC, if anything, because they definitely gonna fire Zach after this season.
They need to go see what Rex Ryan's doing and just have him come cuss everybody out for a couple of days.
They need to hire Rex Ryan back. This team needs Rex's creativity right now. Rex would be a great guy to try to get on the show. I would love to see what his thoughts would be, personally about this defense and what would be done differently. At the same time, I don't know if he would go in hard on defense, because he's a defensive guy. I've heard him talk shit though, on television sometimes, with some of the commentary and stuff that he has, and he still gets pissed off. And I love Rex. I love Rex, man. He's such a dynamic coach and a dynamic mind. So I would love to hear his thoughts on this whole thing. But right now, we definitely got to figure some things out.
We definitely do. But this has been one of our longer post-game shows. The comments were coming in hot and heavy and quick.
Everybody's pissed off.
Everybody's pissed. That's good for our engagement, though. So we'll be back. I think that'd be a good spot to end the show. We'll be back on probably Thursday or Friday, previewing the Houston Texans show.
Yep. Hopefully we can win this one.
Shit. Hopefully we can, because they look just as bad, if not worse, than we do right now.
It's all about coaching, man. At this point, who got the best game plan? Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, we usually handle the Texans rather well the last couple of times we played.
Damn, knock on wood, no man. Knock on wood.
Because I think we beat them 31-2 on Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a wild day. Joe Flacco, Trent Dilfer, Lamar, Anthony Wright. Yeah, this is great, Rico. Stop that shit. He's talking about Steve McNair's honorable mention like he didn't lead us to one of the best
No,
seasons we ever had.
Steve was a dog. But hey, right, that's my dog. Hey, right, what you doing, my boy?
Hey, I talked to him a couple years ago on the show, man. When when I was floating out in the lonesome by myself, but um, we'll get him one here at some point this year. It'd be
Yeah,
great because he still talks his shit. I love talking to A Right.
yeah, I love A right too. I
Yeah,
know he
but
talking shit somewhere right now in South Carolina.
yep, can't understand half of it,
Yep.
but
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in tonight,
thank
man.
you
We had
guys so
a
much.
great show. Thank you for your questions and stuff as well. We got to get to a segment where maybe we just start to do a question and answer segment.
Yeah,
Mark,
we can
Matt.
definitely maybe during the bye week we can do Q&A live with the
Yeah,
audience.
yeah,
Maybe kind of bring some people in and actually ask us on screen and then shuffle them out. Um,
correct.
that'd be a good way to go. But that'll do it, folks. You can find me on social media, mtrigwbp on X, mtrig89 on IG, and just type my name in on Facebook. Right now, my profile picture is John Harbaugh looking stupid.
That's,
I
that's probably
changed
everybody's profile picture.
I changed it before the show.
Yeah. Well, you can find me on X at Coach Wilcox and on IG at Daniel.Wilcox. We appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. It's been a great night, man. Even though we got our asses whooped, we're gonna continue to bleed purple. And today we both bleeding a lot right now, as you see. I
Yeah,
had to tell Matt to put his hat on because Matt didn't even want to wear his damn hat tonight. Like he was ashamed or something. So
I was
that's how you
amazed.
know.
I had my hat on my desk.
Yeah, that's how you know Matt's a real diehard fan. When you take on that type of attitude, you mad at everybody. That's how you know you bleed purple. I
Yeah,
appreciate you, Matt.
you're welcome. And that'll do it, folks. We will see y'all later this week for Texans week.